Welcome to another exciting episode of EVlander. Today I'm at King of the Hammers, participating in an event called Unplugged by Optima, in which they got a bunch of EV guys out here, mainly Rivians, who else? And kind of do a little excursion, off-roading down on the trails. They provided lunch with us just here, and you know, there's a bunch of venues. You probably can't see it in the camera over here. So anyways, in this episode, mainly I'm just gonna cover the swing arm that you guys have been keeping an eye on. I'm gonna get some feedback from some of the folks out here. We're gonna check out the venues over at Hammertown, and let's have at it. It's a beautiful day right now in Southern California, and I'm on my way right now to Dirt Complex to meet up with my buddy AJ and Harry. Now, they have a product that's going to resolve my issue with the tire being inside the bed of the truck and having to remove all of my gear out when I get a flat tire. And that's a swing arm tire carrier that mounts to the rear of the car via the hitch mount. You can attach many different accessories to it, such as water jugs, tables, whatever you need for your off-road needs. And I'm pretty excited to see what they come up with. I just got to get to this traffic. Here we are, Dirt Complex headquarters. Some nice webs out here. See, we can't get their attention. Alright, cool. So, I mean, the whole point of the swing arms is to be able to get access to the spare tire without having to go through this whole process. If I was out on the trail, out camping and whatnot, the fridge has got to come out, all of my gear's got to come out just to be able to get into the spare tire bay where the spare tire is located at. Of course, I'm going to reach down there, muscle it out. 33-inch tire, not the lightest. Woo! So I'm out here at Dirt Complex with my boy AJ. Yep. And long and behold, we were able to get that swing arm on the R1T.
It took a little bit of a customization, but we will be producing these for anyone with an R1T, or actually be the same for Audis and other CUVs with tow hitches that are located really far from the bumper. So his hitch was about 6 or 7 inches from the edge of his bumper. Which means we had to extend the hitch assembly. The nice thing about that is all of our new hitch assemblies are solid billet steel, so it's plenty strong enough even with that long of a lever. When I open the swing here, you'll be able to see it. Before I do that, so we got the solid mounted license plate here. Comes with a light. This is easily wired into your 4-pin or 7-pin hitch system, hitch light. It's a 1-inch bolt going through this hinge. This is a stainless plate that this slides along and auto latches. So right now it's on free swing, but I usually tell people, sorry, I made an awkward angle here. Let me get from this side. I usually tell people to leave it so it's spring loaded. That way if you ever forget to close your swing and you drive off, it'll snap into that spot and it won't go too far. So we got the safety pin here. We pull the safety pin out. Right there, just hangs down. Pull this latch open and it'll swing open. So we do have a spare tire on here, but it's not just a spare tire carrier. The trail swing holds a lot of different accessories. You can put roto packs on the side here. He has a table here. Actually, no one knows this yet, but we also have a propane mount that's gonna go right here.
I'm gonna like that one.
I'll let you see it in the office before you go. I have some CAD models of it. So we have a propane mount that'll go right there. And of course, favorite accessory for a lot of people is this table. So not only does he have his tailgate, but you have this extra table here. So with it in this first position on the Rivian, it will clear the tailgate, the license plate and all that. But let's look at the features here. So when we designed this, it was all about being serviceable and replaceable. So that's why this resting pad, which adds a little extra support and relieves the hinge, replaceable. These rubber bushings are replaceable. They just screw in. Same with the stainless plate. And the we'll cut that. This is all made in the USA with chrome moly tubing. So you can see this tube here is one solid piece. It's 4 bends bent on a CNC tube bender. It's 120 wall chrome moly tubing, 3/16 plate, and we do have some nice features on the plates. So these holes here, it's actually a Morse code. This says DIRTCOM, and this says USA. There's also a USA on the front here. Right, this is backwards because we're looking at it from the back, and there's also an American flag on the front. You probably saw it before we opened the swing. But let's go over here. So most swings, our standard swing, this hitch is actually higher, so we do have departure angle. However, with the Rivian, because of the gooseneck hinges, this tailgate goes really low. So this was the highest we can get this swing and still clear the tailgate. But you can see here that extension. This is a solid billet of steel, so that's not it's not going anywhere. You'll probably bend other things before this bends. Hopefully he doesn't do that, but we'll see. Maybe if he like slams off a ledge, he might bend his hitch assembly here. But no, these are pretty solid, even the hitch assemblies. But yeah, you can see here it's this hole for extra adjustment. That's a solid hole there, solid piece of steel. Most hitches are hollow inside. This is solid. And we have it on the furthest setting. So there's 3 adjustment holes here, spaced 1 inch apart. Now the reason we have it on the furthest setting is because we had to clear the table. And unlike most pickup trucks, there's a huge gap. You know, the bumper's here, the tailgate's here. Well, with the Rivian, it's all pretty seamless. You know, it's real flat, modern design. So with that, we have to push the swing out. It still looks really close. If you don't have the table, you can actually push this to this closest setting, which puts it right up on the bumper if that's what you want. It'll put this on the bumper and the swing right up here. But for our purposes, with the table, we swung it out. So you know, if with that latch thing, people won't accidentally close it, and you can just unlatch it. So if we open this, I don't actually know how to open your...
So you got a couple buttons up here. One closest to the end is the tailgate.
So that first hole will clear everything, so you don't have to worry about it. As long as you know you're in that first hole, everything clears. Everything clears just fine.
So you can see how it looks like?
With the tailgate open, yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
So that's perfect, because then I can have my fridge pull out here and be able to just put stuff onto the table and utilize that, food prepping and whatnot,
Yeah.
before I push it over to the camp kitchen.
Camp kitchen?
Yeah.
I thought Rivian stopped making those.
Oh, no. If you know me, that doesn't stop me. I'm gonna build my own. All right, cool. This is very cool, AJ. You guys did a lot of great work here. The quality on it is mind-blowing, and I love the attention to detail that you put onto it, especially with the U.S. I'm very big proponent for made in the United States and supporting our economy over here. Dude, I'm ready to go take this and thrash it on the trails.
Yeah.
Get some good food cooking on it and whatnot through the camp kitchen preparation. I think my family's gonna love it, so it's gonna be good stuff. I should get good positive feedback from the guys out there. We'll see how the Rivian folks think about it.
Yeah, we'll see what they. I mean, I think once you get your tent on and everything, it'll complete the look.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, I think it looks great on here. It fits
Cool.
really close. Really close. Almost too close.
All right, bud. Appreciate it, man. I'll keep in touch.
Yep.
I'll send those pictures out and let everybody know what Dirtcom's doing over here. I want to take this opportunity to go over the Dirtcom trail swing and how it's set up on my vehicle. I want to talk about some of the accessories I've added, like the roto packs. I want to talk about some Rivian specific information that you're going to need to know, especially when it comes to installation, and just kind of quickly go over some of the installation process on it without actually having to install it. Okay, so let's start off with the installation. So when you get the trail swing, it's pretty much mainly assembled, obviously without any of the accessories. You're gonna have the main swing arm connected to the main arm that's mounted to the hitch. With the Rivian itself, specifically, there are a few things that you want to prep first before you begin installation. Obviously, remove the rear license plate, and then you have your rear hitch cover that comes off. Get down a little closer here. Now the main design of the trail swing is that not only do you have the hitch pin to hold it in, we also have kind of like a wedge adapter here that's held on by this nut over here that's threaded in. You can use a 3/4 inch wrench or a socket to tighten that up, but you'll need to cut out a piece of this plastic just so you can gain access to this. So the main point of the wedge back here is for a few things. One is to help stabilize the arm so it doesn't rock back and forth. It also helps lock it in, so it's really snug in here, very tight. Most hitches that you insert in here and you just only use the pin, there's some movement, some play, and you don't want that, because the longer this arm gets, the more exaggerated that motion becomes. So this helps prevent that movement. So this is very critical. So again, you're gonna have to cut this plastic piece off here. So what I did, not too big of a difference. I think it's about 4 inches across that I've cut all the way close to this edge over here. And then you'll be able to mount that in there. With a little bit of help, you'll be able to get the trail arm into the hitch, and you'll notice there's going to be 3 holes on there. Now keep in mind, this hitch, although it fits the Rivian R1T, is not made specifically for the Rivian R1T. It fits a bunch of different vehicles as well, especially those that the hitch are recessed further back into the bumper here. So with that in mind, you're going to have 3 holes that you can put the pin in. Those 3 holes determine the position that the hitch is going to sit in, whether it's going to sit in very close to the vehicle. This will get pretty close into where the license plate area is, or you can have it in the center hole, which is where mine's located at, And then for other vehicles, not gonna work with the Rivian, it pulls it out more. And the reason it's not gonna work for the Rivian is because of this height here and this gooseneck on the tailgate. Right now I have it set up so that when the tailgate comes down, it'll clear the arm. All right, so we're opening the tailgate. As you can see, because of the gooseneck design, it gets down pretty low. And if you're looking through here, you can see that there's just enough clearance here so that it doesn't interfere with the swing arm. Now this tailgate's not gonna go down any lower than that, even with added weight. So I'm not worried about it making contact with the arm. But if this arm was on the last hole to pull it out this way, you're gonna make contact for sure on here. So make sure you use the center hole or the one that's closest this direction, which essentially will move this whole arm in. And obviously, once you get that whole arm in another inch, then you've definitely cleared the tailgate. Now, the reason why I have it on the center hole is so that I clear the table. So if I didn't have the table in, I probably opted to have it closer to the vehicle for that flush, cleaner look. So once you got the trail arm in, and you've inserted the pin where you want it to be located, in this case, again, center pin, then you can go ahead and start tightening up that rear bolt. And you might want to have somebody, well, first have the arm closed down, but you might want to have somebody kind of hold it up at that end over there while you're wrenching this down over here. And you want to get it fairly tight. This way, once you got it snug in, it's parallel with the ground and it's not going to go anywhere. As far as accessories are concerned, one additional option you can get is the arm for the accessories. In this case, I have the Rotopax water jug connected to it with a Rotopax mount. If you're going to use this for the Rivian R1T, especially with the Rivian tire, it's got this weird offset, you want this arm as high as possible and pulled all the way out. Otherwise, it may not clear the tire. Next, once you have the arm installed in the vehicle, everything's tightened up, and then you want to adjust your license plate. There are 1, 2, and 3 bolts that hold this plate bracket, and that allows the plate bracket to slide left and right. And you want to get it over you want to get it over to the side just enough so the tailgate clears it, but also keep your license plate visible. Once you got that position, now it's time to wire up your license plate light. It comes with 2 wires to feed to the LED light that's located inside. Now what I did is I extended that wire, and it feeds down through here through a grommet into the frame. Then to the back, it flows all the way to the other side. And I have it connected to a 4-pin adapter that I've included into the vehicle. Now I've had to wire this in the vehicle, but you can also alternatively use I believe a 7 to 4 pin for the trailer hitch here. And that's essentially what this is getting wired to, so I can get a 12-volt signal. This 12-volt becomes active when the vehicle's on, and it turns off when the vehicle's off. So at the moment, Dirtcom sells the Front Runner fold-down table, but it's currently not recommended for the Rivian R1T simply because it's too thick of a table. And so I've kind of modified this one just to make sure it works. Essentially, I just removed the extending table on there, kind of bent the bracket back a little bit, removed the locking mechanism, and used this rubber band, if you will, to kind of hold it in place to keep it from coming out. It does a pretty good job. Again, don't recommend this table for this combination with the Rivian R1T. It's simply too thick, and you're gonna make contact on the bed itself. And speaking with AJ, he is thinking about making a thinner table, so maybe something that's about half the thickness of this table, and then that will work perfectly. Might even work pretty well with the trail arm pushed in all the way to this last hole. So once you got the tire mounted, the mounting portion of it for the tire comes with 1 bolt. They'll supply 2 more bolts underneath it that are kind of loose, and that'll help you get it snug down. And then I threw my trash over on here. I used to have it hanging off the tailgate. but I didn't like that. But this is such a better option for me. And then one additional accessory you can add on here to aid. As you can see, with the tire on here, the rear view camera is completely blocked. So when you throw the car in reverse, you're not going to see anything but tire. I found this product on Amazon. It is a wireless camera, backup camera. And so I found a nice spot here towards the center and the bottom to mount the camera to. It's wireless, so all you have to do is wire it to the 12 volt. And so I used the same spot or connections as I did for the license plate light. So it comes on when the vehicle is on, and it has pretty good view behind me, and I'll kind of demonstrate that later. And it sets up wirelessly to a over the rear view mirror kind of adapter, if you will, its own screen, and it comes with a front view camera, so you kind of have them both. Has a it has a SD card that you can put in there, so you can record video if you like. And lastly, if you want the option to install your recovery gear like I did here with my factory 55, you can. You really don't have to. You can put other stuff on there. You may have questions like, well, what about the departure angle? Yeah, that's been dramatically changed. So we can get a view here. So as you can see, the OEM departure angle is going to be about here, but now it's kind of extended because the hitch itself extends a little bit further. And so, I mean, just like everything else you modify your vehicle with, there's going to be some pros and cons. There's going to be some compromises. This is mine. This vehicle is not a rock crawler, although I probably won't shy away from some obstacles. And if I make contact, I make contact. This thing is pretty heavy duty. As we explained before, it is completely solid piece all inside as far as that arm is concerned. I've had a couple questions online. Will it fit R1S? The short answer is yes. The long answer is I don't know. I haven't been able to test fit one on an R1S. I'm looking forward to probably doing that next couple of weeks. And so if I do that, I'll definitely make a video and share that just to kind of show and prove that it does fit an R1S and what the clearance is and how it looks like. I'll just probably take my tire and find somebody with an R1S and politely ask them if I can install it in their vehicle. Some of you may be wondering, does it fit the rooftop tent? That answer is a yes and no as well. It just depends on what rooftop tent you have and how you have it mounted. Mine's a 65-inch, so it kind of extends past the tailgate, but as you can see, it clears it pretty well. Now, if I had something a little bit longer than that, it'd be pretty questionable. And the only reason is because I have these risers, these 3-inch risers that I have are mounted to my crossbars, and so they raise the tent up for other purposes. But if I had that tent all the way down to the crossbars, this combination wouldn't work for me, especially with this tent at 65 inches. But if you had the regular tent that Rivian was offering, or at least something close to that design, that's more of a line of the 54 or 56 inches, that's going to end somewhere around in this area, and so obviously you wouldn't have any clearance problems. And maybe some of you guys are asking about movement. Oh yeah, there's going to be some movement. I mean, you have this joint here with some arm, and you got a lot of weight over here. There's going to be some leverage, but it's not going to make contact with the bed. Just as long as you're not adding that table the way it's sold in the stores, or you have it too close to the vehicle, then you'll make some contact. There's some video out there of me off-roading, and you can see, it's kind of hard to tell because I'm shaking too. You can see the tire moving, and that's pretty obvious, but it's not such a big deal. All swing arms do that. Doesn't matter what design you're looking at, but the important thing is it doesn't make contact with the vehicle. Here's another question that's come up before. Well, what if you open a tailgate while the swing arms close? Well, simply put, don't. With mine, it hits it, comes out. This little rubber piece that I have on the table to kind of protect it, but it's going to make contact with it. So try not to open the tailgate, especially if you have it trying to open it from the vehicle and inside, because you can. or out here. Just be careful and be mindful of what you have on your vehicle. So now the next thing for me to do is take this bad boy out on a trail. I've been invited to an event called Unplugged by Optima, which is taking place at King of the Hammers out here in Johnson Valley in California. So I'm gonna take it out, probably show it off to some other Rivian owners, see what they think, and pretty much just test it and just kind of demonstrate my use for it so that you guys can see what benefits there are with having a trail swing, not just a tire carrier, but also to hold your accessories and tables and other stuff like that. So I'm all packed up and ready to go. The trip is in a few days, and I'm excited to see what this will do for me. It's nighttime here, sundown, about almost close to 8 o'clock. That's Hammertown. Look how crazy it is. We're beginning fireworks, a lot of guys off-roading at night. I mean, it's just nutty. We got our little setup over here. I mean, you guys know how it is over here, how I do it. I don't know if I had any upgrades since the last time I filmed. Walk around. Still sporting the Tough Stuff Overland Ranger 65 tents. Of course, you guys seen my fridge pull out there. Now I got the swing arm. I told you this is going to be very helpful. I can just literally come over here, open up my fridge, grab stuff, pull it out, have somewhere to set it, back and forth, you know? Stage it up if I want. It's a little dusty, so I may just wipe it down probably before that. The Rotopacks water, been using it to wash hands. Just have distilled water in there. It's been perfect. There's my diesel heater. Been kind of toying with how I want to set it up. But I got this tire step. It's got sitting on there. Exhaust is not touching it. I'm not worried about anything burning or getting crazy off the ground. Then of course, the camp kitchen. Yeah. Already cooking. Let's see what we got going on over here. I mean, come on guys. Seriously, come on. Give me more time, but come on. Can't go wrong with that. So it's an induction stove. I got these pots from Amazon that are induction stove friendly. Right now I got it at 6, which is not the highest setting. There's a 9, should be an 11, but at 9's at 1800 watts, so I'm guessing around 6 is gonna be about 14, maybe 1300 watts, not quite the limit. So I don't have to worry about that. Actually, what it was 9 was 1400 watts, which was perfect. And then both burners together at 9 was 1800 watts. That's what it was. So I'm glad I remembered to correct myself on there. See what we got going over here. Paper towels have been working for me nicely. So what I'm making right now is Mexican tortas. Got some hamburger bread. Kind of like it. It's got that nice soft texture to it. It's a potato bread. I got some Romanian lettuce there, cheddar cheese, sprinkle a little mayo on there, guacamole in the corner. Got the meats going. It's rib, got some bones on it, so probably have to pick it up, no bother. I don't know if you noticed the light there. It's motion. You just walk up to it, light turns on, walk away, light turns off. Try to make it as automated as possible. Right now, that's how I got the water jug. But I mean, as you guys know, the idea is to get a sink going either side with a faucet. Electric power, because I mean we got all the power we need out here. I have the truck auto leveled, So that means the kitchen's leveled. I can stand and just kind of improvise. I got a little rock down there that's holding it up. And I'm just holding it down here. It's steaming. Oh man, this is beautiful. You guys seen the 23.0 awning, 180. Some aftermarket lights, LED light strips that I have in there. That's powered by the USB-C in the back of the headrest inside the R1T. And it's adjustable, dimmable. Jeez, I mean, all that's left here is to finish this cooking up, flip those meats, and get grubbing. So now we're gonna do breakfast, food prepping here. And again, just want to reiterate real quick, this is why I think this is a very useful setup. Not for everybody, but I like this very much. I like the convenience, the way my fridge is oriented. Before I had this going on with the table, I had to grab everything and then walk everything one by one here and there, or put it in bed. Maybe stuff is everywhere. This is kind of nice. I can just food prep, or my kids can set up a table here and eat here. I don't have to bring an extra table. Or I can have my hand washing station over here, as you can see with the Rotopacks. But more importantly, it's this spare tire. I have quick and easy access to it. If you guys watch my other videos, I usually have this bed pretty cramped up in here. I gotta pull everything out. On our last trip to Calico, we had not one, not two, but 3 flat tires. All of them just tore up to the side wall, and it was a race to see who can empty out their bed, pull that tire out, especially with the rooftop tent in there, and swap tires. Although it didn't take us that long to perform that task, it was just cumbersome. So at least with this one, I can just grab my tire wrench, pull the tire out, just swap it out, jack it up, replace it. Don't have to empty out the whole bed contents onto the trail. At that time, it was in the middle of the day, conditions like this, or it's just kind of, you know, nothing really going on. But had that happened in the snow, that would have been not fun. Or in the rain, right? Taking all of my gear out and just let it sit there in the rain. So having a spare tire, especially going off-roading, somewhere where it's easy and accessible, whether it's on top of the roof rack, or just out on the swing arm, I think it's just another key tool for conveniences. The other one now I'm using it for my trasheroo. Instead of having it on the tailgate, so when I had the tailgate open, it just dragged on the floor. And it was convenient to get to, but I didn't want to scratch the bed up too much with that being on there. Now it sits on the tire. And especially with my kitchen setup, just walk over there real quick, throw the contents in the trash, and get back to work. Speaking of work, I got my hot water going for some tea. If you guys know me pretty well, you guys know that I like hibiscus tea. Have that with my breakfast. So looks like it's boiling, so I'm gonna get that off the pot, and then we'll pack up here and head back into Dusty Town. I'm sorry, Hammer Town. For more information on the Trail Swing, you can contact Dirtcom directly. I'll leave the links down below. I know what you're thinking. What about King of the Hammers? What happened to Optima Unplug event? Well, I recorded so much content that I couldn't possibly fit it all in one video, which means I'll have to dedicate the next video just for that. If you don't want to miss the next episode, Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, and share this video. Let's feed that YouTube algorithm. Thanks for watching, everyone.